Welcome to Inside the College. I'm Dr. Maggie McMenamin, president of Union County College, and we are here with our first guest this morning, Mr. Vic Ritchell, the chairman of the college's Board of Trustees. Welcome, Vic.
It's great to be with you.
I'm happy that you're here today.
Thank you.
And the focus of today's show is to learn more about college governance and about the boards that govern the college. So I'd like to start with, how did you get involved with Union County College? I know you've been involved for a long time. How long and how did it happen?
Well, it was in the early 80s.
All right.
And there was a very fine civic leader, Sid Lesner, who was the then chairman of what was then known as Union College, which was a private two-year school. And Sid approached me one day and said, Vic, would you be interested in serving our great little college? We need some local flavor and some leaders from the community. And one thing led to another. I came to the college, joined the board.
So that was almost 30 years ago.
Just about.
Oh, wow.
And the interesting thing was, right after I joined the board, we did the merger and became Union County College after we took Union College, a private two-year school, and merged it with what was then Union County Vocational and Technical Institute to create a county college. When the college was created, we decided to use what is affectionately known as the Rutgers model of governance.
So I've heard about that the boards here at Union County College are different than every other county college in the state.
We're the only county college in New Jersey that is governed the way we are, and I'll explain it, but it's modeled after the Rutgers model. And that is, we have two boards. The Board of Governors, which is made up of people from the community, appointed by itself, by the Board of Governors, and they're wonderful civic leaders who are a cross-section of our community, who provide guidance to the college. And they basically were formed out of what was then the board of the old private two-year school.
So that's the Board of Governors is the legacy board.
Is the legacy board, and its charge is basically simple. Its charge is to provide advice and counsel to the trustees, principally on matters of the hiring of a president, and also to oversee what was then the only capital asset of the private school, that is, the buildings on the campus here at Cranford. Of course, we've grown now to have these wonderful multi-campuses, but they are part of the county system. So the Board of Trustees is the governing board. The Board of Trustees is made up of 10 people, 4 of whom are nominated by the Board of Governors, so they have a very important role in selecting 4 of their own members to be trustees. The governor of our state nominates 2 members, and the county freeholders nominate 4. So we have a total of 10.
So that's very different than the other 18 county colleges where the majority of the appointees, majority of the trustees are freeholder nominees.
That's exactly right. And what the way our college was originally established, and most two-year colleges as well, the funding mechanism was principally, originally, done on the basis of 1/3 by the state, 1/3 by the county freeholders, and 1/3 by the students. Now, over time, that's changed, principally because of budget constraints, changes in economy and whatnot. Now it's, and these are round numbers, but it's about 20% from the state, 20% from the county, and the remaining 60% from students.
So the governors are responsible for advice and counsel, for hiring and firing of a president,
Correct.
and for oversight of the Cranford campus assets.
Correct. Now,
The trustees, what's their role?
well, their role is creating policy, looking at the long-term objectives of the college, working at the mission of trying to determine what the needs are of our community and our students, and supporting the president, who is charged with the responsibility of execution.
How do you become, can you review one more time, how do you become a trustee at the college?
Well, you can become a trustee through 3 routes.
Okay.
The first is the governor, Governor Christie, our current governor, can appoint 2 members and does. Our freeholders appoint 4 members, and the Board of Governors appoints 4 members. So you can become a governor through one of those 3 routes. Become a trustee through one of those 3 routes. And we do an interesting thing here, Maggie, which I'm very proud of. We try to merge these 2 boards as much as we can while keeping autonomy and recognizing that the policy responsibility rests with the trustees, but the advice responsibility is critical. So every month that we have board meetings, we have a joint meeting, which is jointly run with the governors and trustees together. And then at the end of that meeting, the trustees have a meeting where policy is executed.
So then you get the benefit of the advice and counsel from 20 governors in addition to your 10 trustees.
Absolutely, and it's a wonderful, easy to benefit from mechanic.
And more people from the community involved with the college.
Than just the 10.
Got
so
it.
It gives us the benefit of the expertise of our governors, and that is broad.
So your governors and trustees, I imagine, business leaders, attorneys, accountants.
Exactly, from across the board.
Wonderful. Now you've mentioned the freeholders a couple times.
Yep.
Help us understand, what's the role of county government and the freeholders with Union County College?
Well, you know, I can't speak for the other counties. I know that they run differently. But I can tell you that here in Union County, and I've been chairman now for 18 years, our freeholders, regardless of what their political circumstance is,
red or blue,
it doesn't matter. They are fully behind the mission of Union County College. And they support us. That doesn't mean they give us everything we ask for budget-wise. They put us through our paces, but you and your wonderful staff create a budget that we bring to the Board of School Estimate, which is made up of 3 freeholders and 2 representatives of the college community. And we basically produce a budget that helps us get through the process. I can tell you, Maggie, that the freeholders here in Union County have been spectacular partners. And I'll give you an example. They created a program known as the Freeholders Scholarship Program. It was the first in the United States, created here in Union County. And we've gotten calls from other counties and other states around the country wondering, how did you do this and what's the program? So I'm so proud of the support that our freeholders give us. They're just wonderful partners.
So regardless of party
Doesn't
affiliation,
matter. Doesn't matter.
we get the support. Our Board of Chosen Freeholders in Union County focused on education, supporting public education in the county.
I've spoken to a lot of our freeholders, both red and blue, over the years, and they all say the same thing. This is our starship.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's great to have that level of support from
Yep.
our elected officials.
Yep.
Now, Vic, we talked about the board structure and how you got involved with the board, and now the tremendous support we get from the county and from the state. Tell us about you, Vic Ritchell. I know you're a community leader, business leader. You're involved in a lot of different boards. So tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I grew up in Union County. My wife, Andrea, and I are products of the Elizabeth High School system. Andrea graduated from Baton High School. I graduated from Jefferson High School, which is now Elizabeth High School.
Mm-hmm.
And after college, I went to Villanova. Andrea went to Kane and became a teacher. Actually, she taught in Winfield Park right here. After I completed my degree at Villanova, I joined Elizabethtown Gas and went through the ranks and became an executive at Elizabethtown. Concurrently, while I was on in the employ of Elizabethtown as an officer, I always served on bank boards. And eventually I was asked on one of the boards I served, statewide, I was asked to become the chairman and president and CEO.
That's statewide savings?
It was Statewide Savings Bank. At the time, it was a mutual bank.
So you jumped from Elizabethtown Gas over to statewide
Well,
savings?
I eased because I took early retirement from
Okay.
Elizabethtown, which was a wonderful thing, and became chairman of statewide. I took statewide public. We raised a lot of money to help us grow the bank. We did that for 5 years, and then in 95 we sold. I'm sorry, in 2000. We sold statewide to Independence Community Bank in Brooklyn. I became vice chairman of Independence. In 2005, we sold Independence to Sovereign Bank.
Which is now
Which
Santander.
is now Santander, I think the third largest bank in the world. So it's been an interesting career. I've always been involved in community activity because honestly, Andrea and I believe we've been very fortunate, and we try to give back where we can.
Now, in addition to being on the chairman of the board at Union County College, you're also chairman at Trinitas, and you're involved with Child Advocacy Center as well?
I am. I am chairman of Trinitas, and that's an interesting story, Maggie. The combination of Trinitas and Union County College has created the best nursing school in the country.
Certainly one of our flagship programs at Union County College.
And it's a privilege for me to serve on both boards in a leadership position.
Another great community organization that's helping to serve everyone throughout Union County.
Trinitas is a spectacular regional healthcare center. And, but in no small measure, the college assists Trinitas in the creation of this wonderful nursing school.
It's a great partnership.
It's a wonderful partnership.
We've been talking with the chairman of the Board of Trustees at Union County College, Mr. Vic Ritchell. We're talking about the structure and governance of the college's Board of Trustees and Board of Governors, and about the tremendous public support that Union County College receives from the Union County Board of Chosen Freeholders and from the state of New Jersey. We'll be right back after these messages.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much cash you are really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov.
And welcome to our Plainfield campus of Union County College. I'm Dr. Maggie McMenamin. I'm the president of Union County College. And every time I speak, I talk about the mission of the college. And our mission is to transform our community one student at a time. And today we're gathered here to mark a very important day, really a new beginning in that transformation of our community. We're here for a few reasons, really. One of those reasons is to honor the legacy of the Thule family. This is the old Thule building, and we have 3 members of our Thule family here today: Mr. Larry Thule, Mrs. Louise Thule, and Mr. Jim Thule. The Thule family has made a tremendous contribution not only to the city of Plainfield, but to our great nation in what was built here on this property decades ago. So you're going to hear a little bit more about that when Jim talks about it. He just found out he's the speaker, but he's a great guy, and it's a great family. And not with us here today is Mr. Fred Thule, the father of these young men, Louise's husband, the man who built this great site here and led these important innovations for our country. But we're also here to shine a bright light on the future of this campus for you, our wonderful students. And I know we got about 40 students here. We're welcoming you all here. This marks the beginning. And I know we don't have the electricity on, but we put it up front so you'd see the light. We were hoping for sun, but you know what they say at weddings, if it rains, it's good luck. But we really got here due to several other people who worked tirelessly to make this happen. First, I want to acknowledge the leadership of the chairman of the Union County College Board of Trustees, Mr. Vic Ritchell. Without his leadership, we would not be here today. We also have to thank the vision of Assemblyman Jerry Green. Without his vision, we would not be in Plainfield, period, let alone be moving into this Thule building. So Assemblyman Green sent his regrets. He could not be with us today, but it's important that we acknowledge his vision in understanding what a transformational opportunity this could be. But we also offer thanks for the tremendous support of the Union County Board of Chosen Freeholders, led by Plainfield resident Chairman Linda Carter. Today, we are honored to have freeholder Vernell Wright with us, and we thank her for her tireless advocacy for education in general and for Union County College. She is the education freeholder. Whenever there's an issue related to the college, she steps up and says, we've got to help that college. We're changing lives. So thank you, freeholder Wright. 50 years ago today, you know what day it was? It was the day the president was shot. It was one of the darkest days in American history. But from this day forward, as we, in one of his famous speeches, he talked about passing the torch to the next generation. From this day forward, as we pass this torch to this generation of Union County College students, November 22nd will not be remembered with sadness, but will be remembered as a bright new beginning for this college and this campus. So thank you very much. Thule family, freeholders, Assemblyman Green, Mr. Ritchell, for your leadership. This is going to be a bright new day for our college. So before we go on, we're going to have a little ribbon cutting, symbolic, but I want to introduce to you a few more speakers. And first one is a great leader for this college and really throughout the county, a citizen volunteer, a great philanthropist, Mr. Vic Ritchell, chairman of our board.
Thank you. Dr. McMiniman thanked everybody, and I think most of us, not me included, me excluded, deserve the thanks. But what you didn't talk about, and I will, is her leadership. We are very fortunate to have Dr. McMiniman as the president and leader of this great college. Dr. McMiniman has become a national leader in community colleges, recently elected to the governing body of all colleges, not just community, but all colleges in this region. And that's quite an honor. She's the first administrator from a New Jersey college to have achieved such a high ranking. So join me in congratulating. The Thule family, as Maggie said, you folks have been wonderful leaders in this community, industrial leaders and philanthropists. And what you're doing by selling this building to the college is helping create a stronger legacy. Because now many, many more people will be able to get an education that they wouldn't have really gotten because we were running out of space. We started this college in Cranford as a small private school. And we expanded slowly into Elizabeth, and then aggressively into Elizabeth, and then aggressively into Plainfield. We started slowly in Plainfield. I mean, when we first came to Plainfield, we weren't even really a college. We were just starting. And now, Plainfield is a fully fledged, full college segment of our great college, which is a fabulous testimony to the growth and the needs of the people in this region. So I'm really honored here to represent all of our governing boards, our trustees, which is our governing body, our governors who are critical to our governance, and the administration and the faculty. We've got great, great faculty. Those of you who are students know how good our faculty is, and our administrators. So we're very pleased and very proud to be able to cut this ribbon today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ritchell. As you know, I'm only on this campus a couple days a month. But every day on this campus, you have an academic leader who is fighting for you and fighting for the students and fighting for the services, and somebody who never gave up in believing that we could acquire this property and is going to shepherd the transformation of this property. Now I'd like to introduce to you your academic leader in Plainfield, the Plainfield Provost, Dr. Nagar Farakish.
Good morning, everyone. Isn't this an exciting day for students at Plainfield, for faculty and staff, and for the college as a whole? This is going to be one-of-a-kind experience, transforming the community here, the city here, and the student experience. For those students that actually come to the Plainfield campus from the beginning to the end in our very specialized programs that are very rigorous, this is going to be a fantastic opportunity. Aren't we all excited? Yes. All right, thank you.
Does anybody know the word for fear of public speaking? What is it? That's what I thought it was. Well, I want you to warmly welcome our next speaker. And I popped it on him this morning and I said, please say a few words from the family's perspective. And so please warmly welcome Mr. Jim Thule.
Thank you, Dr. McMenamin. I just want you all to know that the Thule family is extremely gratified that the college has chosen to recognize the history of our time in business. My grandfather was the one who started this business back in 1913, so this year we celebrated our 100th anniversary in business. And he was a bona fide mechanical genius, but because he didn't have a great command of the English language, he only went to the 5th grade. But I can assure you he did some remarkable things as a machinist, and helped develop the businesses until my dad came along. He infused some rigor into the businesses and controlled the finances a little bit and allowed the businesses to grow to the point where what my grandfather started out with was with auto repairs and machining. He was rebuilding engines and such. It eventually grew to the point where the engine rebuilding grew into its own company. The auto parts grew into its own entity, which is where we're standing today. And we still had a traditional machine shop, which is just down the road in the adjacent property. We are closing that business as well. So of all the Thule corporations that had our last name on it, they're about to disappear. So the fact that the college has decided to, acknowledge that our name is really important to my brother and my mom and myself, that the legacy of my grandfather and my father will continue, and I'm extremely grateful for that. Thank you.
Okay, folks, now we're going to have a little ribbon cutting. Good morning, everyone, and we are at the new building for Union County College in Plainfield, the Thule building, better known as the Thule property in Plainfield. We just closed on this property and had a nice little ribbon cutting ceremony here, and this morning I'm with two members of the Thule family, one very important person, Mrs. Louise Thule, and one of her sons, Mr. Larry Thule. So welcome to Union County College.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We're delighted to be with the Thule family today because this was, for 100 years, founded in 1913, a landmark property in Plainfield, and it's the hope of Union County College to continue that landmark legacy and history of innovation and transformation through education. Larry, can you tell us a little bit about what happened here over the last 100 years?
Well, there's a lot of innovation and a lot of desire to serve the public of Plainfield and the surrounding areas.
Somebody told me that a component of the first nuclear submarine was actually manufactured here at the Thule manufacturing plant in Plainfield. Can you tell us anything about that?
As the innovations were growing, the atomic power labs were looking for machine shops around the country because not one machine shop could make every component, because it had to be spread around so nobody would know exactly what was going on. So we were picked to be one of those shops that for the first aircraft carrier, for the submarine, and the first impile tubes that went down in the land reactors.
So when we say the Thule family had an impact on our entire country and really the world, we're not exaggerating.
No, not at all.
Okay, Mrs. Thule, Louise, what do you think your husband Fred would think about this transformation into a educational campus here at the property?
I think he would be thrilled.
Thrilled. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, we're here at the Thule property in Plainfield on our Plainfield campus. Union County College has just closed a landmark acquisition with the Thule family, the famous Thule family in Plainfield, to acquire this property, and it will nearly double the size of our classrooms, laboratories, and parking and presence in Plainfield. Thank you very much.